To celebrate King Louis's birthday, you are French pastry chefs making beautiful boxes of macarons. The royals' favorite flavors will make your box extra special, but make sure that the allergen flavor doesn't slip in and ruin your box. After a number of rounds, the player with the highest points wins the game and becomes the #1 pastry chef in all of France. Macaron is a trick-taking game for 1 to 5 players. In this video, we will be teaching you the 2-player setup. In a 2-player game, you will be using group A, B, and C cards only. Therefore, the only flavors in the game will be almond, pistachio, strawberry, blueberry, and green tea. Each flavor has 7 cards numbered 1 through 7. Place the scoreboard in between the 2 players. There's a regular side and an advanced side. You should start with the regular side. Next, choose your end game condition. Do you want to play a game to 10 points or a longer game to 20 points? You will put out the A, B, and C group tiles and the 3 tokens above the scoreboard. Shuffle all the cards and deal 13 to each player. The rest of the cards will form a draw pile. The player who most recently had a macaron or pastry is the starting player. In this game, you will have 13 cards in your hand. For each trick, you will play 1 card. When you win a trick, you receive gift boxes, not points, and become the starting player to lead the next trick. The round immediately ends when either all 13 cards have been played or if someone wins 8 gift boxes. Then we will turn the gift boxes into points and start the next round. You will continue playing different rounds until the endgame condition has been met, when either someone has received a minimum of 10 or 20 points. At the start of each round, draw your hand of 13 cards. Each person will discard 1 or 2 cards face down to the discard pile, then draws the same number of cards from the draw deck. You should end up with 13 cards in your hand. At the beginning of the game, the starting player is the player who most recently had a macaron or pastry. In subsequent rounds, you will take turns being the starting player for the round. The starting player will take the star token and place it in front of them. The other player chooses which group will be the royal flavors for the round. They will either be almond and pistachio, strawberry and blueberry, or just green tea. You will reveal the top card from the draw deck. That flavor will be the allergen for this round. You may discard this card. Lastly, you can place a bet. Beginning with the start player, you can bet on the number of boxes you will win this round. Once placed, they cannot be changed. Now that the setup is done, let's make macaron gift boxes. The starting player will lead the first trick, and the player who wins that trick will lead the next trick. In this example, the red player is the starting player for this trick. They put down a 3 green tea. If the blue player only has a 2 green tea in their hand, they must play it even though they will lose the trick because they have the leading flavor. If the blue player had a 2 and a 5 green tea, they can play a 5 green tea and win that trick. If the blue player did not have any green tea, then they can play any other flavor and lose the trick. For example, if the blue player had no green tea, they can play a 7 almond. The blue player would lose even though the almond is a larger value than the 3 green tea because they could not follow the leading flavor. In this game, we will have 1 or 2 royal flavors. The non-starting player will pick which group they want to be the royal flavor or flavors for the round. They can choose Group A, almond and pistachio. Both flavors would be royal. Group B, strawberry and blueberry. Or Group C, green tea as the single royal flavor. These are the favorite flavors of the royal family, and they might differ from round to round. A royal flavor will trump the leading flavor and win the trick. For example, let's say that Group B is the royal flavors for this round. The blue player is the starting player and leads the trick with a 3, almond. If the red player does not have an almond, they can put down any other flavor. If they put down a 4 green tea, it's a throwaway, and they lose the trick. If the red player puts down a royal flavor, like a 2 strawberry, the red player wins the trick even though the strawberry is a 2 and the almond is a 3, because the strawberry is a royal flavor. If a royal flavor leads the trick, then the trick, and this trick only, there are no royal flavors. There might be an allergen flavor, but no royals. For example, if the blue player leads the trick with a 5 blueberry, and the red player had no blueberries, they might want to put down a 7 strawberry. But since the trick was led by a royal flavor, the strawberry is no longer a royal, and the blue player wins the trick. If the red player had a blueberry, let's say a 6 blueberry, the red player would win the trick because the 6 is larger than a 5. There are 2 special cards in this game. The first is the number 1 cards of every flavor. It states, if this card wins the trick, plus 3 boxes instead of 1. For example, if the blue player leads the trick with a 1 green tea, and the red player had no green tea and no royal flavors, they put down a 4 almond. Then the blue player wins the trick with a number 1 card and receives 3 boxes. If the red player had a royal flavor, for example 1 blueberry, then the red player would have won the trick with a number 1 card and receives 3 boxes. Now, what are allergens? The allergen flavor is the flavor that the royals are allergic to, and it can spoil your box. If you win a trick with an allergen in it, you do not get a box, but you do still lead the next trick. We will say that the pistachio is the allergen flavor for this round. Remember, this might change from round to round like the royal flavors. In this example, the red player leads the trick with 7 green tea, and the blue player does not have any green tea. They can put down a 1 pistachio. The red player wins the trick but does not gain a box. They will still lead the next trick. The second special card in this game are number 2 cards of all the flavors. It states, if this card is in the trick is allergy-free. For example, if the red player leads the trick with a 2 almond, they are guaranteeing that there will be no allergens in this trick. Even if the blue player puts down a 5 pistachio, the red player wins and gains a box. A 2 pistachio would negate itself. An allergen can also be a royal. Let's say for this round, a blueberry is a royal and an allergen flavor. If the red player leads with a 1 almond and the blue player puts down a 3 blueberry, then the blue player wins because the blueberry is a royal flavor. But the blue player does not receive any boxes because it is also an allergen flavor. If the blue player puts down a 2 blueberry, then the blue player would win the trick and gain a box because the number 2 card negates allergens. Royal conditions still apply. If the red player leads with a 6 strawberry, a royal flavor, then the blueberry becomes only an allergen, not a royal for that trick. If the blue player puts down a 3 blueberry, then the red player wins, but receives no boxes. If the blue player puts down a 2 blueberry, then the red player wins the trick and receives a box. You will continue to play tricks until the end of the round conditions are met. The round will immediately end if someone receives 8 or more boxes, or all 13 cards have been played. At the end of the round, we will translate the boxes into points. To see how many points you will receive, look at the center of the scoreboard. The level you end up on is the points you will receive for that round. If you end with 1 box, you will get 1 point. If you ended with 0 or 2 boxes, you will get 2 points. 3, 4, or 5 boxes gives you 3 points, and so on. You move the marker on the track on the edge of the scoreboard to keep track of your points. If you had made a bet, then you will add 2 points if you ended on the same level as your bet token. If you did not end up on the same level, you will lose 1 point. After receiving your points, you need to check to see if the end-game conditions have been met. If no one went past 10 or 20 points, reset for the next round. Continue playing rounds until the end-game condition has been met. The winner of the game is the player with the most points. Ties are friendly and both players win.